Hey everybody, it's Mark Yagi. Welcome to another weekly stock market update. Today is March 22nd. Thanks for being here. Glad you're here. Hope you're taking advantage of this green market. If you're in the right stock, it's the right market. Now, the question is, are you in the right stock? So let's take a look at what's going on out there today. And just got off my mastermind call and it was really good. And I'll give you a brief rundown of what we talked about in the mastermind call. Can't obviously go over all of it, but I do want to give you some insight. So we are in a green market, but I'm giving you a little history going back to November 6th, which is when we have a system called the Genius Market Timing System, which is right about 75 to 80% of the time. And this is a probabilities game, right? It's not always right. But it's right a lot of the time. And if you can get the market timing in your favor, I can show you this is a 5-month bull market. And if you look at the green arrow all the way on the left, that's when we went green. And we've been green most of the time. There was a period of time in the middle there where we went yellow for about a week, but we've been green since then. And green means things are going up. And if you look at the market, we're at all-time highs, as I'm going to show you. This is a zoom in. There are 4 green lights in the market, which means press the accelerator. There's no reason to hit the brakes. We're not going through a yellow light. We are green. And I thought maybe we'd go to yellow this week, but we didn't. The Fed kind of didn't say anything. So the street seems to like that. All right, let's take a look at this. Is the NASDAQ. You can see it hit an all-time high yesterday. It's pushing up these all-time highs. And people that go, oh, the market's overbought. And they've been saying that for the last 3 months. All the stock market does is make new highs. You can't make a new high unless you make a new high, right? If you say, well, the market's already at its top, if it goes through that top, that's a new high. And the market keeps making new highs. That's why I always say it's higher highs and higher lows. That's what the market is showing us right now. So the NASDAQ, all-time highs. S&P 500, all-time highs. Dow Jones Industrial Average, all-time highs. And then the New York Stock Exchange, all-time highs. We got everything marching in the same direction. Why? I'll tell you why. The Fed has painted itself into a corner. This is game over at some point. And now we're in the final stages of the game. And I don't know if the game ends on Thursday or 2 years from now or 20 years from now, but we are in the final stages of this fiat currency game, right? Where they're spending money without caring about what they're spending. And then they're printing money to pay for all that spending. Now, the Fed is not calling it QE2. They're not QE, quantitative easing, QE2, QE3, QE1. They're not calling it that, but that's what it is. They're essentially printing money because now the deficit is going up at a rate of $1 trillion every 100 to 120 days. That means this year we're going to probably have an increase in our deficit of $4 trillion. We've already gone from 33 to 34, and we're going to have 3 more tacked onto that because there's not a person in Washington that's running going, we're going to cut the budget. Nobody wants to hear that. They're going to complain about their inflation. We're going to inflate away the debt. But you're going to be spending a lot of money in inflation. It's a hidden tax. So that's why the market is going up. Every time the Fed decides to print money, 2008, 2014, 2020, where they just dumped a ton of money into the market because everybody was stuck at home, whatever it was, that all pushes assets up because people, if they don't need to spend the money on food, they take that and put it into assets. So real estate goes up. You've seen that. Stock markets go up. You've seen that. Gold has gone up. Bitcoin's going up. All the assets are going up. So if you're not in assets, you're getting poorer. And if you are in assets, you're getting richer, which creates a divide between the rich and the poor in the country. There's your economics lesson for the day. But that's why we're getting this melt up in the market. Because ever since late October, when the Fed decided to talk the market up by easing off on their really aggressive hawkish language that they were going to keep raising rates, the market's gone up because they're seeing signs that the Fed is going to print money. They know they have to anyway, but the Fed's confirming it. Wow, that was a lot, right? Okay, the volatility index, the VIX, is back down. It was hitting its moving average last week. It's back down below the 50 and the 200-day moving average. That's good for the market. The bank index, look, it gapped up a couple of days ago after the Fed talked. The bank people are excited. Why? Well, if the banks are holding treasuries, if you raise rates on treasuries, the value of the treasuries goes down. That means their balance sheet goes down. That's why if you look at this chart, a year ago, we had that big drop in banks because they were holding, there was a big run on some of the banks and the Fed had to come in and print more money to backstop those banks from going out of business, right? So that all got figured out in the system, with fake money. And then now the Fed's like, well, we're not really saying what we're going to do, but everybody looks at it and goes, well, the Fed seems to want to cut rates. If you cut rates, the value of treasuries goes up. If the value of treasuries goes up, the bank balance sheets are starting to recover, and therefore you're seeing the stocks start to recover. So this is a strong index now, is this banking sector index. So I thought it was interesting to show it to you. All right, couple of stocks that I know a lot of people own. Tesla is got a relative strength rating of 10. What's funny in the market is you can have a great stock, and there's I could tell you 10 things that Tesla is doing well as a stock. As a company. And then you can have a stock and they can do two totally different things. So this stock is not reflecting all of the great things that are going on in the company of Tesla, right? And it's all because they are lowering the prices of some of their cars, which is affecting their margins. When you affect your margins, you affect your profit, and stocks trade on profit. Now, they don't really have much debt. And all the other car companies are like, we can't make EVs profitably. Well, that's because Tesla has a 10-year head start on you. So they're all curtailing their EVs, and Tesla only makes EVs. Who do you think is going to take the market share? They already have the number 1 and number 3 cars in the world, right? It's going to get better. They've got full self-driving. They got this robot that'll do your laundry and cook for you. Like, it's ridiculous. Wait till next year. They've got a $25,000 compact car coming out. They got full self-driving that's this far away from being released to the public, and maybe Ford's going to even take it over. They've got so many good things happening, but the stock is not showing it. But Tesla goes like that. Some days it doesn't show it, and sometimes all of a sudden the stock will go up 35 bucks in a day. It's just the way it is. It's perplexing if you're in the market, and it's frustrating if you're in Tesla. I'm in Tesla. I'm frustrated, no question about it. Apple is feeling the heat, and I think somebody knew something, right? Look at this Apple from the last 2 months, right? It's gone from 199, 196 down to 168. Do you think somebody knew something about this Dow Jones Department of Justice antitrust lawsuit that they're filing against Apple because Apple, created the iPhone, and now they're saying, well, you got too much market share. 50% market share is a monopoly? I don't see it, but I think people knew about it, and that's why this stock is going down. And I think we're getting more and more and more corruption in this country. People are trading on inside information, and you and I don't get the benefit of it. It really kind of sucks. But, Apple's, it's going to be in a lawsuit for 3.5 years. That's how long the Microsoft one took, and Apple will probably settle it at some point, when the pain gets too much or when the news is behind them. But right now, the people that are in Apple are feeling the heat for sure. All right, one more is NVIDIA, sitting pretty close to all-time highs. This thing broke out. I'll still gloat on this one because I said at the beginning of the year that it's going to break out from the 504, 505 level, and it ran up to just about 1,000. I think that's where it's going to consolidate. I have no idea what stocks do, whether they go up or down, because as you know, this is education and information. Do your own research, all that kind of stuff. I can't take any responsibility for any of this stuff, but it is a dot on your screen. Screen's made up of all these dots, and when you put all the dots together, you get a picture. This is part maybe of how you could put your picture together. So that's what's going on in the markets. I hope you're getting to take advantage of some of the great things that are happening out there. And if not, I hope you're taking advantage of some of the great things that are happening in your life and that you're ready to enjoy a fantastic weekend. Thanks for joining me here on the weekly stock market update, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Oh, and by the way, we are launching Insider Tips, which is our newsletter. And this is going to be a part of the newsletter. It's going to be delivered to your email. And it's free right now. It's free. So this will be part of it. I'm going to do a more extensive part of it. After that, I'm just giving you the brief, but I do, stock select lists. I do industry research. I do deep dives on stocks. I do all kinds of different things that I don't do on the weekly stock market update. You'll get all of those in your email box on a regular basis. So you may want to subscribe. Head on over to cashflowmachine.io/tips, TIPS. And join that, and then we'll be sure that you're part of the gang when we release these things, if you like them. By the way, if you want to comment, love to have your comments. You know that I'm answering comments a lot on the platform these days. Like, subscribe if you haven't done it. Hit the notification bell so you know immediately when the market tells you, or when one of these market things comes out. And if you comment, give me a thumbs up. If you want to give me a thumbs down, tell me why it's a thumbs down. but I prefer thumbs ups, right? But I'm happy to I love feedback because I can always get better. Thanks for being here. Have a great weekend. Bye.